If my daughter comes to me and say, Daddy, Baba, my husband cheated on me, I'm going to say, Princess, give me a hug, sit down. I need to talk to you. Is he a good provider? Yes. Does he take good care of you? Yes. Does he ever disrespect you, raise his hand to you? No. Outside of this cheating, is he pretty much what you need in a man? Yes, he is. What do we know about this woman? Was this thing purely sexual? Was it a hit and miss? Is it a work romance? Or is he really feeling this woman? If she tells me this was a hit and miss, I'm going to tell her, go have a conversation with him about his infidelity. Let him know you do not like it. But there's two things I want you to think about. I will never tell you not to leave a man because he cheated. I will never tell you that. If you want to leave him because he cheated, go ahead and do it. But I want to ask you a question. How many men you expect to find out there who are never going to go outside that marriage at least occasionally to experience another woman? I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it's not realistic to leave a good man for an oops. Now, let me tell you when you better leave him. I'm going to tell you when you better pack your shit. I'm going to come pack it. If you find out the other woman is more important than you now. If you find out he has removed you from the throne and put another woman on the throne, and now you number two when you was always number one, you got to leave. There's no greater disrespect a man pays to his woman than to put another woman in her place. When a man replaces a woman, she need to leave, because that is a sign that you are no longer what you were to him. And if you hang around too long, you will see your rank drop again and again and again till you don't even matter no more.
Yeah, you in trouble at that point.
So you better leave when you ain't number one no more. But if you still number one and you know you number one, have a conversation, princess. But I don't think you kick him to the curb for this oops.
First of all, I love the analogy of talking to your daughter, because, man, I've never heard nobody break it down like that, but that's exactly the thought process you should have in considering and making such a big decision. Now, your son comes to you. Pops, she cheated on me. What does he consider in his decision making?
It's going to be different. For what I said earlier, if your woman spread her legs for another man, that's rarely just sex unless you can't please her in the bedroom. Now, if he tells me, Dad, I'm having troubles pleasing my wife in the bedroom, that's a different issue. Then the question becomes, did she ask you to get help? Did y'all ever go to a sex therapist and try to work on the situation? Is there something that happened in your childhood that I need to know about? You feel me? But if it ain't that, your woman, and assuming she's not a promiscuous woman, you ain't marrying no hoe. She a hoe, that's different. That's what they do. They pop Gucci. Right. But you got you a real woman.
Most people have no idea how to plan a date that builds connection. With 100 engaging dating cards, skip the small talk and get straight to the real conversation. Let's take the dating game to the next level. Click the link in the description and use discount code CLIPS for 10% off.
You got a real woman who loves you and she spread her legs for another man. She got a connection with him. You got to have a deep conversation with her and find out, is he her new number one? And are you the legal husband, now the side piece?
Insane.
Will she actually be able to give you that in conversation?
Believe it or not, a lot of women would.
Wow.
They're going to tell you straight up.
They're going, you know why? Because they're so frustrated at having given us warning after warning and plea after plea to get this shit together. And a lot of them can't wait to tell you to your face, yes, because I gave you a chance to handle this and you wouldn't. If a woman loves you, sleep with another man, she feels some type of way about him. She may not have replaced you yet, but if you want it, you better get it back and get it back quick, because a good woman don't spread their legs easy. Not when they in love with a man. They don't do it. Now, yeah, they do revenge sex. Revenge sex doesn't have to be anything meaningful, you know, if it's just revenge sex. But if it ain't revenge sex and she's really cheating because she's cheating, there's something more to that situation. I want to say this to black women, men too, but especially women, because we're more likely to tell a woman the truth about their sexual performance, women don't like to tell men because they don't want to emasculate us. Black women, sex isn't the only thing, but it's important. If your man cannot please you, you need to let him know. Now, if he don't have sufficient size, you might got to get another man. I mean, because you can't repeat. There's nothing you could do about size. If he ain't got enough.
But is that really the reason? And she shouldn't even.
No,
be
stay with me.
that.
Stay with me. It depends, because every woman made different. If you got you a 6'6" sister, you got to have a pipe that can lay her down. You understand? You can't come to Queen Latifah with no tic tac, right?
Right.
So I'm saying if the man is not the right size, she might got to consider another man. I don't even think they get that far if he wasn't the right size. So we could put that to. I don't think they get that far if he wasn't the right size.
That's a fact.
Now, if he can't perform, she needs to tell him that so he can work on it. There's nothing worse for a woman's future sexual health than to fake an orgasm when you're not even being pleased. And I've had women tell me they are faking orgasms when they're not even being pleased. Why you got this man thinking he raising you through the roof and he barely raising your temperature? You got to talk to him. Too many women are doing that and they're going unfed, unpleased, and it's not good. Let him know that you need to do things differently.
See, this is my thing. You know, I would actually say I think the statistics say that most women actually don't orgasm or just generally aren't pleased sexually in their relationships. Now, the reality of it is, should sex...
Some of that's trauma too. Because if you're mostly preoccupied, your mind isn't free enough to orgasm. Sometimes it's not your fault. I've had men say, Dr. Umar, my wife loved the sex. She cannot orgasm. Unconsciously, your wife is preoccupied with issues. It may have nothing to do with you. It could be her relationship with her father. It could be her relationship with her sister. But she has, in order for a woman, they're not like us. Us is we can be purely physical. A woman's mind has to be in the moment. This is why depressed women can't orgasm, anxious women can't orgasm, bipolar, borderline women can't orgasm, because women who suffer from intrusive thinking, constantly thinking, neuroticism, they can't orgasm because they can never live in the moment and they can never stop thinking about things outside of the bedroom at that moment. A psychologically unhealthy woman is going to have a very hard time orgasming.